Hey, and thanks for clicking play again. Really do appreciate it, guys. Let's cover Captive, one of my all-time favorite games. So before we fire it up, I just wanted to, which is why I'm doing a face-to-face here, share my memories of where I got this game originally. Before we do that, let's have a look inside the box. As I've said before, this was given to me by Lee, and I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna embarrass him with how many times I do thank him for it, but this was his own personal copy from when we were teenagers, and he's given it to me, and the rum I gave him in return is not enough repayment. It seriously isn't. Yes, the box is munted, but seriously, this is worthless. He said worthless. Goodbye, friend. Priceless is what I meant, because this was Lee's actual copy. So Lee got this first back in the day when we were at school. And I followed suit soon after. I believe we probably got onto it from, I think, wasn't there a demo on Amiga format? I'm sort of catching up with the demos that I played, and I swear there was like a single level demo on Amiga format. That's where we got into it. That didn't come with it. That's as you can see, that's a PC disc that I've started a save game on. Haven't got very far, but there's a reason, mainly because I wanted to sort of go through this first. It's got the original disc, obviously, that's in there. So that's all good. And then we have the attaché briefcase manual. We've got even the original warranty card there, registration card, that's in there. Lee, this is awesome. And all the other getting started guide, that's all in there. And what else have we got here? We've got everything that ever came with the box. Oops, I've just dropped one. There we go. So there's a reference card, player reference card, and a diary. And this all forms part of the story. Yeah, so this is all part of the story. So we'll get into that as we actually play the game. I've just dropped one of them. There we go. It was a really good set, and now I've wrecked it. Sorry about that. It's all here. So that's really good. And so, yeah, the whole story, it's a really clever premise of a game, which I'll talk about as we get into it. The reason I want to talk about when I got my copy of the game, because I really wanted this. I know I'd played the demo, and I'm pretty sure I went around Lee's house and we played on his machine. Probably handy if I keep the disc out. What do you reckon? We'll keep the disc out. And so I really wanted it. And as previously discussed, things back then were tough and we had to save for stuff. And I, wasn't really earning very much money. We were at secondary school, we were teenagers. I think at that point I was actually sharing a paper round with another friend. So money was not easy to come by. And I really wanted to buy the game, and I knew my local computer shop, Megabytes, had it in stock. I knew where it sat on the shelf even, because I went down that often. What I also knew was there was some money in my cupboard right next to my Transformers comics. And what I knew about that money was I wasn't meant to touch it. This is a real confession here. You're going to hate me as a person now. That money was sponsorship money given to me. Oh my God, I can't believe look, I made up for it, okay? I made up for it before I finished this story. It was sponsorship money given to me after completing the London to Brighton bike ride. So it was money for the British Heart Foundation. And it was sitting there, and I thought, well, rather than save up and buy Captive, I'll just take that money, buy Captive, and then save up and then pay the British Heart Foundation, which is essentially what I did. That's so bad. And even saying it now, it's like, I did what? That's what I did. That's so bad. But I did make up for it. I promise I did make up for it. And even now, in, 30 odd years later, nearly 30 years later, because obviously this wasn't 89 at this point. This is sometime in 1990 or 91, I'm sure. But even now, it's like, I did pay it, didn't I? And I know I did pay it. And they're probably going to get money out of me forever and a day now, the British Heart Foundation, because I'm just going to keep going. Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to pay them some more money. I'm going to keep doing that for the rest of my life. But yeah, so that's how I got my original copy. So bad, so bad. Anyway, so let's get into the game. Let's plug this in. Just want to make sure I don't get in your way. I want to make sure I don't get in my own way as well. And what we're about to hear, hopefully, so long as the power supply doesn't play up again. I've got no blinking caps lock, so that's good. And I'm going to shut up for a second now because because this music is just fantastic. A lot of people talk about what is some of the best Amiga music out. Lee and myself loved this. This was our go-to, and I'd say it still is. Shadow of the Beast, absolutely. All the music from the Shadow of the Beast. Shadow of the Beast 1 and 2, but primarily 1. But this, and so few people talk about the music from Captive. This is phenomenal. It's fantastic. And what you can't really appreciate, because you're listening through a mono microphone, so I'll probably slide some captured in from the emulator and edit it together, is the stereo effect, that stereo split that is so special to the Amiga, and is so unique, I think, where some effects are coming from one side, some are coming from the other. It's just so good. It's amazing. Love it. Love that. It's fantastic. Now, some funny things. I might edit some of this down, load times, depends what I end up rambling about. Oh yeah, so the premise of this game I think is so clever, because the whole idea, if you've not played Captive, is essentially you are trapped in a cell and all you have is an attaché briefcase with a computer inside it, which at the time this game was written, you know, was the thing of science fiction. What, some kind of portable computer? What are you talking about? This is amazing. No wonder it's set in the future, because that kind of technology is so far away. And so what you're doing is you're stuck in the cell, you've got this briefcase computer, and you use that to control a little squad of 4 droids, and you control them, and the whole point of the first 10 missions is you're trying to locate yourself. So you're controlling these droids through a portable computer to locate yourself so that the droids can then rescue you. Okay, so it's a really clever premise, because what it does is it actually justifies your existence in the game universe. You're sitting at a computer controlling these droids to come and rescue you. So your real world presence is justified outside of the game. I love it. It's such a cool blend. So well done. Yeah, it's brilliant. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to locate this flashing dot. We have to get to here. So this is like a star map. And I'm going to say some funny things today. Right, so we have to first of all zoom into this map, and this bit feels a bit awkward, but actually it's not too bad. One of these is zoom in, there it is. And so I need to get to that flashy thing there. So if I click on that, that should center me there. Zoomy, 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 and panny, panny across. Oh yeah, see my mouse working, beautiful. Fixed it myself. So proud, so proud. Right, okay, and let's get in there. We have to, we hit orbit first anyway, so it's fine, right. And then what's going to happen is our spaceship is going to make its way to this planet. Whilst it's making its way, I'll do something I usually do, leave until I hit the planet's surface, but actually that's a bad idea. And that's, we have to set up our droid. So each of these panels over here, if I right click on that, here's one of my droids, but they are dumb as anything until you install the CPU into their brain. And that's when you name the droids. And so they die really easily unless they've got their CPU installed. So that's the first thing to do. So I drag the CPU into the brain, and then I have to name it. So here's confession number 2. It's not creepy, it's endearing. What I used to do is, and this is why we needed the keyboard working only for this bit. What I used to do is I used to name these after girls that I fancied. That's what I did when I was 16. So that's what we're going to get here. Look, we're going back to 1990, 1991, whenever it was. And let's see if I can remember the girls of that period. There was Hannah, yeah. Never officially went out with Hannah, but we did become long-term pen pals because she lived a long way away. So there we go. Hannah, sorry, it's not creepy, it's endearing, I promise. Right, and let's name the next one. It gives me a point of empathy, you see. Then I care about the droids and I want to protect them. This is how this works. This is fine. There was Isabel. Isn't it scary that I remember all their names and I know where they... No, I don't know where they live. So Isabel. I did actually go out with Isabel. Now, when I say go out, I mean I held her hand once, I think, and kissed her on the cheek once. So there we go. That's nice. So there we go. So Isabel... Oh, she's not looking very good. Oh, dear. Don't know what's going on there. And who's next? Rebecca. We nearly went out. Never quite managed to get there. Right, there we go. And one more. Well, there was two names I used to use here. There was Nina and there was, who I never went out with, and there was Caroline, who I think everybody but me went out with. I hope she doesn't figure out who I'm talking about and comes across this video. The chances are, we'll go for Nina. All right, okay, Nina. Okay, sorry, Caroline. Right, there we go. So they're all named and they are now functional droids, so that's good. Let's see how our ship is getting on, and I forget how you even cross out here. I think I just click in here or something. There we go. Now let me just zoom in here. And I'm only going to say this once, and most of you will not have a clue what I'm talking about. That ship kind of looks like a flying swan. Anybody watched Flesh Gordon? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I've never watched it. A friend told me something. Right. Okay. Right. Let's. What we have to do now is we have to land on the planet, and I am going to quickly turn the volume up a little bit because the in-game stuff isn't that loud compared to the phenomenal music. Everything else is quite quiet. This is fantastic. So this is a dungeon crawler. Really not my favorite type of game. The reason why I loved Captive was the first game I remember seeing at Lee's house. So first of all, we're on the planet's surface and we have to locate a thing. There's our ship. We have to locate a thing. Here we go, a clipboard. Put that in our hand there. And that tells us the code for the door. Top left, top right, bottom right. Okay, that's the code for the door. And I'll put that in somebody's hand because I can throw it at something's head later. It's always handy to have things to throw. And this is the door. Now, I don't want to hang around on the planet's surface for too long because you get attacked by dinosaurs, weirdly. But yeah, and the first level's fairly easy. And what we have to do, we have to go to these 10 bases, and in each base we have to locate some explosives, and then we have to use the explosives to blow up the base. That's what you have to do. Not really sure why, but that's how we progress. So, top left, was it? Top left, top right, bottom right. There we go. And then it will load the base, which is cool. I was going to say another personal memory and I've completely forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, that's right. So dungeon crawlers. The first dungeon crawler I watched Lee play was Eye of the Beholder, and I thought that was great. But the family I grew up in, they didn't really like me getting into anything supernaturally. Won't go into the reasons, but essentially even Scooby-Doo was borderline. So yeah, just look, I have great parents. I've been brought up well. Yeah, every parent has their quirks. So I wasn't allowed to have games like Eye of the Beholder. I wasn't allowed Dungeons and Dragons and any of that. So this was great because it was that same level of sort of role play and immersion, but because it wasn't supernatural, it was futuristic, it was technology, there's no issues with it. So I was really, really happy with that. Same with, like, you know, the Warhammer stuff, Warhammer 40,000, brilliant, because it was all, again, it was future, it was technology, more than fantasy and stuff. Right, here we go. So we've got some explosives. I'm going to put that in Rebecca's backpack. There we go. Thank you, Rebecca. And I've got another clipboard here, and it tells us you will need this to destroy the generators. So that's about the explosives that we just got. So again, I'll put that in somebody's hands there. Put that in those ones' hands there. All right, because we are going to get into a fight soon, which is great. What took me for ages to work out when I came back to this and I first played this via emulation is I remembered anything with like rollers underneath you could push forward, but I forgot how. Basically you right click on the movement icon. And the other thing I forgot for ages is PowerPoints. You can electrocute yourself, you can fry useful things, but you can also do this. You can click on the PowerPoint, get a charge, and then you can use that as a weapon, which is very important at the early game because, funnily enough, we don't have any weapons. And this is where it's going to get hilarious in a second. So here we go. Right, let's move forward. Let's have a look around. Oh, look, something's attacking us already. So we'll let them come, and then I have to slap them. And what you don't want to do, and in fact, I'm getting beaten up here, so I'm going to get some electricity. That's a bit quicker. What you don't want to do is slap with the person in the rear, because that slaps the person in front of them. It's quite clever. So if you slap from the back row, you're actually slapping your own droids in the bum. So there you go. There we go. Well, you have to be careful with electricity, because if I do that and then pick up the money that they've dropped, guess what? I can actually lose the money. Rebecca's carrying too much, so we'll give the money to Nina. I'm sure we can trust Nina. And I can stack the money, so that's nice. My goodness, stacking's a thing that works. Took No Man's Sky ages to work that out. Right, and essentially, I don't think I'm going to take you through the whole of level 1, because that would actually take quite a while, and I think that would make too long a video. But that's basically the premise. Let's see if we can quickly get... Just getting lots of money. Doors are good for killing people. We must kill somebody with a door, because that's fantastic. Oh, I know what I can do. Right, I'll show you this door kill, and then what I'll do is I'll load my save game, because that was just before putting the explosives in, so I can show you that. There we go. That's what I'll do. Right, here they come. And this you kill most people early on in the game before you buy weapons and stuff. So you have to get money, then you can buy weapons, and then, you know, that's how you go. You can throw clipboards at them and stuff like that. It's not very effective. There we go. If I shut the door now. Oh, look at that. The door does all the work. Beautiful. Fantastic. It's a really cool game. I'm probably not actually selling it very well here, but if you've never played a dungeon crawler and you fancy giving one a go, I highly recommend Captive, even if you just give it a stab via emulation. Okay, here we go. So I've managed to load my save game, which is, as you can see, I'm right by these are the generators, and what I have to try and do is peg it, is basically, what I usually do is on a smaller level is see if I can remember the way back. So I think I go this way. Because what I'm going to have to do is throw the explosives, and there we go, there's the exit. Throw the explosives into the generators. And then get the hell out of Dodge, basically. Right, let's see if we can do it. This is going to be a laugh. So we get the explosives. So I've blended completely different girls' names on this. She was the girlfriend for quite a while, but not while I was still playing Captive, I don't think. Oh, I was in the transition between Amiga and PC, yeah, because these things are important to get right. Right, okay. Off we go. I think I've straight away gone the wrong way. Wait, hang on. Oh, bugger. What are they doing there? That's not right. That's not right. I thought I killed everything on this level. The problem now is everything's going to be on fire. Really, I think I've gone the wrong way and everything's on fire, and this isn't how we do this. I'm pretty sure I've Get out, look. I'm going to die, you're going to die, we're all going to die. Just run for the exit. That wasn't very successful. Oh, that didn't go very well. I'm not going to put you through that again. That's how it goes. That's how the game goes. So you have to throw the things in the fire, remember your way out of the thing, make sure you've killed all the enemies in the base first, is the key thing there, and then get the hell out before you get engulfed in fire. That's not what I did. All right, there we go. That's Captive. So you basically do that 10 times and then you'll come across yourself in a cell, and I'm not going to spoil it. A, because I never got there, but I do know what happens. But this is a game I have to do the first 10. I have to get to do that. I have to get to release myself from the cell because I've never done it. I know Lee did it. I've never actually got there. So I'm going to be playing this because this is fantastic. I still love this game. This is brilliant. All right, cheers guys. Thank you very much again for watching. I really do appreciate every single watch. And in case I don't say it in another video, person I want to thank today is, oh, what's the name of your channel again? It's okay, because you slightly forgot mine, but it's something like Retro Racing Games or Racer Gamer or Game Racer or something like that. You know who I'm talking about. He gave me a shout out in his latest video. I really appreciate that, mate. So shout out to you. I'll put the correct name and link in your channel. Really enjoy your stuff as well. All right, cheers, mate. Thanks, and thank you all. Cheers. Bye.